Hello, I'm Dr. Andrew Allen from Georgia College, and that was a lyrical portion of this year's Symphonic Band All-State Etudes for Alto Saxophone. Now, mostly this is all about musicianship, beautiful sound, vibrato. So I would encourage you to do some tone work. If you're not comfortable with vibrato, or if you're still getting used to it, really use this etude to explore that technique. If you would like additional help, I have a video on vibrato further down on my YouTube page. And also, if you search for my name and Van Doren, there's another excellent video that my friends at Van Doren produced on vibrato. Now, the title of this etude, Espressivo con rubato. So, espressivo just means expressive. It means that you need to tap into all of these dynamics and play beautiful long lines, and also use nice expressive vibrato. And again, experiment. Go faster, go slower, use different kinds of vibrato in different situations in this etude. Rubato is another important word. Rubato means to rob or to steal. And you may have noticed that a few times I stole a little bit of time, especially in the last line, approaching those fermatas. Play with this. Don't go completely out of time, but you can push and pull a little bit throughout this etude. Push and pull on those notes that want to stretch into the next note and play with that tension. Now, another really important consideration in this etude, you have a lot of low Bs. Now, some of you may be inspired to try to drop your jaw to get those low Bs out. Don't do that. If you drop your jaw, they will not speak. Keep your airstream up, keep it flowing through the bell, keep your jaw in the same position, and that will serve you the best. Now, please listen as I play the technical etude. This technical etude has lots of contrast in dynamic, in phrase, and in articulation. One of the biggest things that you need to think about as you're preparing this etude is how do you draw the distinction between your staccatos, your accents, and your tenutos, because they're all very important. Now, another thing that should be said, there are a lot of staccatos and there are a lot of short rests throughout. If you're not careful, this could start sounding a little chunky and a little like you're just playing bits and pieces. So I would think very, very carefully about your phrasing throughout. Personally, I'm thinking a 4-bar phrase from bars 1 through 4, then another 4-bar phrase, bars 5 through 8, then another, bars 9 through 12, another, bars 13 through 16, and then a longer phrase, one phrase basically from bar 17 all the way through 21, and then finally a 1-bar phrase at the end. Think very carefully about that. Again, we want silence through the rests, but we want energy to continue. We don't want it to get chunky and short. Something else to think of here. We have lots of terrace dynamics and lots of contrast. So you need to be thinking about that throughout. Just a couple little fingering considerations. In bar 10, I like to use an alternate D there. Now this is a D that's very, very, very useful in lower dynamics where you're not going above D, or even in C to D trills. This can be very useful. Instead of using the traditional long D fingering, I'm actually just using the middle palm key. The palm key that you would usually put down when it's time for high E flat, I'm just using that. It doesn't work very well at high dynamics, but in bar 10 you have that softer dynamic, works quite well. Also, in bar 14, make sure that you go ahead and mark and practice a side key B flat on the last 16th of the third beat. Otherwise, that passage will be quite difficult for you. I hope that these few tips have helped and my performance has given you some ideas as you prepare these etudes yourself. If you have any questions, please reach out through email, through my YouTube page, through my website. I would be more than happy to meet with you, talk with you, and give you a free lesson at any point. But until we meet again, best of luck